Andrew and Vanessa just asked me to talk about a couple of things. So this meeting really is for people that are brand new or 1 star, 2 star, the manager going on to director. And so a couple of things we just want to talk about is the different packs. So I'm just going to sort of tie the talk in with as we go, just with when when we're bringing on a brand partner, I think it's quite important to talk about what the different packs do. So, I mean, for somebody, if someone is coming on at core, and coming on at core is fantastic because at least they've come on, they've got a place in the binary, they've got the 3 sleeves worth. It's not really necessarily talking about 3 months worth. It's talking about a sleeve for you, a sleeve for your significant other, and a sleeve for maybe one of your special family members, or maybe one to share. So on the core, really, I'm talking to people about the core pack for people that just want to come on and they just want to access the product at wholesale and just for their own personal use. If someone is thinking about sharing the concept or sharing the business with some others, they'd like to maybe get their patches, have some volume coming through, they get their patches paid for free. They would want to at least come on at advanced. Now, I remember when I first saw this and I saw the advanced sleeves. And I thought, well, that would be a no-brainer for me because straight away, and this is my thinking, I wasn't even, and I promise you, I was not there to build a business. I wasn't looking for a business, had no intention of getting involved in a business. But I thought, well, it makes sense to have an advanced pack because I'm going to have one, Andrew's going to have one, and I know my kids are going to have a couple, and I don't want to miss out next month if it's as good as what they say they did. So I actually came on at advanced. And probably within 2 weeks, I realized what I had my hands on, and I very quickly upgraded to premium. But so I'm talking to somebody that just might want to come on. They want to share with a few people. They might want to cover the cost of their own product, so they want to at least come on at advance. Now, I don't particularly promote the Advanced Plus, although I've had some people come on at that. Because it's an in-between one, and I think if you're going to go that far, then premium is probably the better one to go on. So if I'm talking to someone about premium, I'm talking about this is for this serious entrepreneur. This is for someone that wants to run. They want to run hard. They want to run quick with the business, and because they're going to need, or they might have a big family, so they're going to want to get it out to their family. And I'm going to talk about that as we go through because it was a very good talk, and I forget who just did it, but it was just recently. They talked about go premium, and your goal in the first month is to get all those sleeves out to family and friends and close contacts. If you can do that in a month, you're going to get enough that are going to come on board, and you're going to be able to pay for your premium pack within a month. So that was this person. We talked about specific intent. So having a specific intent that I'm going to move these whole 20 sleeves in the month. Now, whether they get close, I mean, that's good. I mean, moving 15 is great. Moving 10 is great. But if your goal is 20 and you can achieve that, you're going to have so much momentum. It'll be phenomenal. But the other big thing is, and Anton, you mentioned it before, and Sue did mention last week, was the sleeves. Now, coming on, a one sleeve, if someone is just coming in, they're not going to build the business. It's just for them, and they're single with maybe it's a one sleeve subscription. But to open up the compensation plan and to get paid, you'd need to be on a 2 sleeve. Now, 2X39 would certainly do it. And later on, that might switch over. You might want to use 1 or 2 of the support patches, depending on the family dynamic. I mean, for our family, it's always going to be 2X39 for Andrew and I. And then we buy some support patches on top of that. But I think if you've got that mindset when you're talking to people, and I talk to people about if you just want to come on and access the product at wholesale to use it, that's for the health benefits, that's absolutely fantastic. If you want to access the compensation plan, introduce 4, 5, maybe 6 people, it's going to pay around about $100 to $300 a week. Now, that's going to immediately cover the cost of your product. But if you want to build teams of people and build a team over the next, you could do that in 3 months, you could do it in 6 months, you can do it in 12 months, it doesn't matter, or you could do it in 2 months. Build a team of 50 to 60 people That's going to generate around about $500 to $1,000 a week. But where the big money is finding these core foundational brand partners. And if I'm drawing this out, I'll point that out as I'm drawing that out to people. Core foundational brand partners and teaching them to teach people to build teams of people. That's where the big money is. That's where the residual income is. That's where the system comes in. And so depending on where your level of commitment and what you can afford, I really don't. I always pitch it at advanced or premium. I said one of those two. I said, so it's really just a decision whether you come on advanced or you come on a premium. Now, look, there are people that can't afford to come on at advanced and cause where they can start. Hey, that's absolutely perfectly fine. There's nothing wrong with that at all. At least they're in the binary. Because the other thing I want to talk to about is getting onto dreamteam.community. I mean, Andrew and Vanessa have done a fantastic job. They're incredible leaders, this couple. They've got wisdom way beyond their years. I mean, they've got 20, look, I don't know how many years, 20, 30, 40 years on leadership development. That's what they've done all their life, is lead and teach and grow people. So that's what their skill is. And so they've put together the Dream Team, and we've got the dreamteam.community. So if you're new on here, look, I'd really encourage you to jump on here, have a good look through it, decide whether right now you might have just come on at a core, or you might have just come on as a customer. You might just say, well, look, I'm just a patcher. Go and have a look on the patching site. Now, if I bring that, you can see that all right. I'll bring that up a wee bit more. There we go. So it shows you how to use the patches. You can download the tracker. Shows you how to stay connected. So there's the Facebook groups, there's the WhatsApp groups, there's and why learning is important. It will take you into the this is at info site, and there's some great stuff in there. I mean, I keep going back and looking. I keep forgetting how good that site is until I take somebody through it. And I go, because that really inspired me. And then you got Dr. Stillman, and he's a regenerative doctor. He's got some great wisdom to share. And then joining the patching community. But look, you might have come on, and if you've just come on to use the patches, and that's great. We want people just to come on and use the patches. But if somebody is saying, I want to share, but I'm not ready to take the full leap, I probably might have come on in advanced. I'm not going to take the full leap. I haven't had the full leap of faith into the premium. You might be a patcher, and that's fine. So go and have a look on that site. It talks about how to earn a fast start bonus. It talks about the advanced pack. It talks about how to make a list of people. And look, as simple as that sounds, it takes some teaching to learn how to make, or to even make that list, because it's so easy to forget people. But the other thing, it's so easy to prejudge people and think, I don't think this person will be interested. Now, I still make that mistake. I don't think this person will be interested. I throw something out there, they're interested. And then I go and see the person. I go, this is my hottest prospect ever. This person's going to get in. They're going to tear it up. They're going to pass me, which is Yahoo. I have no problem passing people passing me. I just welcome it. And they don't do anything. So that's why it's important to put that list down, learning the contact, get familiar with the information site, patching, what we talk about, putting a patch on somebody or explaining the process. And then really, I mean, if I'm sitting down with somebody and I'm explaining the concept to them over a coffee, excuse me, I have my sleeve with me and I'll take a patch out. I said, do you mind if I put this on you? If it's a male, I'll put it on his back, or even a female. I said, you're right if I just touch you and put this on your back. And I'm not expecting that to create miracles. What I'm expecting that to do is it's a connection with that person. I'm showing them how easy it is. If it's a lady, I might say, do you want to go, if she wants to put on a belly button, she can pop in the toilet and put that on. I won't volunteer that one. But always revisit, because the fortune in any form of sales business, any business, really is in the follow through. Now, if you're a builder, jump into the site. You're committed, you're going premium. Have a look at that roadmap, your roadmap to earning money. That's a really good video in there. And then jump into that 10 steps to success. Look, if you've been around quite a while in different industries, particularly if you've been in some sort of sales or people business, it's very easy to go, hey, look, I know all the stuff. I probably don't need to, I know how to make a list. I know how to contact people. These are professionals. One of the things I was at the top of my game in the financial services, but I knew nothing about building a Lifeway business. That's why I plugged directly into Andrew and Vanessa, and because I wanted, they had done it. They were just on the process of hitting SPD at that time. So I thought they're where I need to be. So they're my mentors, they're my coaches. So I said, show me what, because I want to replicate what you're doing over here, because obviously it works. And that's the duplication aspect. And then you just go on through. But look, I think what I want to share, I'll stop sharing my and sign. If you haven't signed up for the newsletter, do all that. Let me just stop the sharing for a sec. All right. But look, why upgrade? So wherever you are right now, I would encourage you to consider upgrading. So if you're core, consider upgrading to advanced. If you're advanced, consider upgrading to premium. Work it in with your budget. Talk to the person that's working with you. Make sure that it's affordable. But look, why this is so important is because sales, doesn't matter what sales you're in, is a transference of belief. That's all sales is. It's a transference of belief. If you can remember that. So what is your belief? And so one of the things, if you're not believing necessarily in the patches, or if you're not believing in investing in your business, but you're wanting other people to invest and build their business, you're not transferring the belief, and you wonder why people don't jump on. So it's that real transference of belief. So one of the things with upgrading, I really believe, it's about you believing in you. It's you backing you. And so it's not that we need people to go premium. When I first saw it, Steve Merritt's talking about, I've never had anyone advance and that weren't on premium. Well, that immediately thought, well, I have to be on premium if I want to advance to the SPD levels. But then I realized, what is this all about? It's about me believing in me and me saying, okay, I'm putting my money where my mouth is. I'm going to run with this. So it's building the belief. It's stepping out in faith. And look, believing you're going to meet people, because you will. And look, the world's a funny old place, and it doesn't, everyone's got their own beliefs and spiritual beliefs and energies and what have you. But there is, no matter everything I've ever seen in my life, what you sow is what you reap. And it's, if you're putting out, it will come back. And I've seen this in not only this industry, other industries, where you just keep the faith, you keep doing the work, you're consistent, you're following a system or a pattern. I'm talking outside of this industry as well. And it just seems frustrating. Then bang, something over here just pops up out of the blue. And it's like, whoa, where'd that come from? Well, that's because you had zeroed in and done the work over here. So look, I just think really consider that right now. It's a really good time to upgrade. Talk to the person that you're working with, or even just step out in faith and go to that next one. If you're on core, go to advanced. If you're advanced, go to premium. I just think the one in between is probably not you don't get the same value or bang for your buck for that one as you do, because you're getting free auto ship, 2 months auto ships. You're getting a lot extra by going premium. And so and go and get the patches out to people. Now, I don't give sleeves away to people. I do to family. I've given family away, patches away. I've given family away. I've done that too. But giving patch to a family member who's in need, and then expecting them to join you, I think that's a good thing to do. That's a paying it forward type thing. But I never, if I'm sitting down with somebody, I'm not going to give somebody a patch unless they're prepared to commit. So if someone commits to it, no matter if it's core, advanced, premium, if they're prepared to commit and register on the form, I will give them one of these and say, look, I'm going to give this to you because it's going to take 8 to 10 days for the product to arrive. And then when your product arrives, you can give it back to me, because this is a rolling stock. So I'm not going to give it away to you, because that's not, it's not affordable if we keep doing that, especially somebody new, and it's not duplicatable. So I will never give it. I did a couple of times in the early days, and I'm still chasing. Well, I'm not going to chase. I've just written them off. I never did get those back. So, look, but if they are prepared to take on, if they're prepared to come on and fill out the application form, I'll give them one of those. And then next, when their order arrives, I'll go around. It's a really good excuse to go around to get them started, show them a little bit about the back office and various things, and get them going. But I just think, like, I just thought that was such a great goal. I mean, I'm going to do that right now. Not that I need to upgrade to premium because I've already done that. And I now move on to, we do some maintenance packs and stuff like that. But we're never going to do maintenance packs until at least we were premium. And then because of all the benefits that premium gives us. But I'm going to go out. I want to see how many I can get out there. I've got a bunch coming in. I just ordered another half a dozen. And I've got a bunch here now because I know they're going to go. And they're going to be out. They're going to be circulating. My energy's out there because it's a transference of energy. I mean, what's money? Man, money's just a transference of energy. We get this out. This is getting your energy out. It's getting your message out. And look, the last thing I'd say, because we're just going to change track and move into the launch meeting, is exactly that. I almost lost what I was saying. Is if you haven't done a launch, have a launch. I resisted it for nearly 12 months. And then I did it because I thought, no, I'm better one-on-one. I'm better over a cup of coffee with somebody one-on-one. Well, I was wrong. I learned that the best, and look, we got some really good growth from that. But the launch meeting was a totally different level because I got to people that I wouldn't have actually got to when I invited them to launch. And I was so surprised at some of the people that came back, just what they had to share, that I didn't think would come back. But I thought I'll throw it out anyway, so they know what I'm doing. But look, and this is what Andrew and Vanessa teach. This is what they did to go SPD, and as Andrew said, he said, look, I'd gone away from the launch meeting. So what allowed them to go to SPD, I think it was in 15 months, it was those launch meetings. So they brought that back. We're doing that. And we're going to be doing that a lot more with our group. We've done some with our guys already, but we're going to go full on with that. And we're going to get as many out as we can. So look, I hope that's helpful. It's just really, I think it's just, it is belief. Remember, sales is a transference of belief. But you have to commit, and just that upgrade is just another level of your own personal commitment.